Update: racist bully gives me permanent trauma, so I ended her career. Fast forward to 2021. I was packing up my room because I was getting ready to move some of my stuff to my new house with my then fiancé. While we were planning our wedding, I was reading a book on my phone when I got a notification from someone I hadn't seen since high school. It was Ria. I'm an adult now, so instead of feeling the terrible anxiety I would always feel whenever I would get a note from her, I just looked at it annoyed and wondered what the hell she wanted. Apparently she was hosting our elementary school reunion because the old building was being torn down in place of a new one. She was inviting everyone who went to school there so we could say goodbye to the old girl. Honestly, I didn't want to go because that school has done nothing but bring me grief and anger. Just driving by it over the years would make my heart pound uncomfortably. I wanted to decline, but I thought to myself, that stupid school will be destroyed, why not spit on it or something? And then something sparked in my head. This could be my last chance to expose Ria for what she really was. Ria, the no-good racist who takes joy in other people's misery. And it wasn't just me she threw racial slurs at. She was like that to everyone, from the girl who was from India to a Chinese student who ended up transferring to a different school because he couldn't take it anymore. Having dinner with my mom, I asked her if she remembered the girl who used to bully me. She gripped her fork and said that she did remember and how much she hated that little beach. I asked her if she remembered going to the school many times to complain about her, and she said yes, and that she had written down everything that was said. And knowing my mom, she never threw anything away because it was important documents. I decided to look into her old files and I found them. It was not only the notes mom took, but it was also full of the hateful messages. Ria wrote to me even my Sailor Moon drawing that had those terrible racial slurs on it. The terrible feeling of self-hatred and sorrow came back in full. I was close to tears seeing that drawing and those notes. I really wanted to know why she had so much hate in her heart. After calming myself down, I went to work. I printed copies of the notes along with a note from my principal which said it seems that Ria called your daughter nasty words based on her ethnicity. It was even signed by that principal, which proved two things: Ria was a racist, and the school knew but refused to do anything. The little party was basically a barbecue on the school playground. I showed up in casual clothing and saw my old classmates for the first time in years. To say the least, I was the only one who still looked fresh-faced and not worn down by parenthood. I did catch up to a few of them. Most of them were actually Ria's victims, but unlike me they ignored her when she would bully them. Looking around, I actually saw some well-known members of our local equal rights group. I assumed she invited them because Ria made a name for herself over the years since graduation. It almost made me feel sorry for what I was going to do. The little barbecue went by smoothly and Ria was talking about the beautiful memories she had at our old school and that she was so thankful that they welcomed her with open arms because she was an immigrant from a faraway country and was worried of not being able to belong. I remembered how proud she was when she first walked in our class, no fear at all. After her passionate farewell speech, everyone in our class took turns saying their own farewells. They half-assed their speeches and some just said that the school was awesome. When it was my turn, I looked around and saw everyone staring at me. Ria is standing there with a confident smile on her face as if she thought that I was so beaten down that I would just say whatever with the school and that's it. But, nope, I say what I say. I talked about how this damn school had brought nothing but nightmares, horrible teachers and a terrible student who bullied me so much that my poor mother had to spend thousands of dollars of her life savings just to give me therapy because I could not function well. I then looked at Ria and said that she was a prime example of the American dream. An immigrant who worked tirelessly to make it in this complicated country. I then said in the same smug tone of voice she had 20 years ago, I am so glad you grew out of your racism. And with that I stood up and left. And remember what I said about those notes my mom kept? Well, I sent them to that local group anonymously and told them that their star volunteer was not who she was. I just thought that would be the end of it, but I did not know of the absolute shitstorm I caused. Ria's reputation was totally destroyed. When the leader of the group saw the notes, he was livid. He immediately told her that she was no longer welcomed and said that she was a terrible example for the people they were helping. Her fiancé dumped her, she lost her job and as it turns out, ended up homeless just a few years later.